Today I'm gonna finish coloring my book using viral coloring techniques only, and I've been really excited to try some of these because they seem so simple and just perfect for all of those pages you just don't know how to color. Let's get creative. Here's a closer look of my book, and as you can see, it's almost full, but I'm missing a few pages, like the cover page, the introduction pages, and then at the back, I have the very last page that I need to color, and I also want to give life to this last coloring test page. So we're going to begin with the title page. I'm going to keep it simple by just coloring it with a gradient. I'm doing it with lots of colors, kind of giving a hint on how I colored in this book, trying a lot of trends and a lot of rainbows. I have to say though, when I illustrated this book, my expectation was to color it in a very detailed, whimsical, magical style, emulating some gorgeous pages I've seen other artists create. But when I actually had it in my hands, I felt coloring this entire book with such intricacy would probably drain the joy from it a bit for me. I know a lot of people love coloring like that, but I realized that I actually wanted to play with it and make it a soft process for myself. Coloring is not only work for me, I actually love it. It is my hobby, so I don't want to ruin it by taking the joy out of it. Anyhow, this grading is done. Now I'm just going to do a simple drop shadow with a gray marker and add a few highlights. Done. So let's move to the main page. Let's try one of these easy viral techniques. On this page, I'm going to do the legal pad notebook effect. I'm going to start by drawing a rectangle around my illustration with one of the corners cut out to look like the paper is lifting. Because I'm coloring the entire page with yellow, I thought I would use this off-brand marker since I'm thinking I will probably use this one up by doing this. I've started coloring inside the illustration first, and then I'm going to go and do the background. I'm filling up my rectangle, and it's funny how different this yellow looks when dry, but I promise it's the same marker. Okay, this marker is starting to feel dry, and I don't think we are even halfway there. Oh no, I can't believe it's dying out on me so fast. I'm going to take the tip out and switch it around because sometimes that helps. And no, this marker is done. I could put alcohol in it to try to revive it a little bit, but I know that's just gonna give me very watered down pigment, so it will be the same color for a few strokes and then change. I'm going to try to match it to a second marker, and as you can see from the swatch, I don't have a color that's close enough, so this might be a disaster. But we're just gonna carry on. I'm gonna pick up where I left, and I'm actually gonna go over all of these areas where my marker started to dry out in hopes for the best, and then again I'm gonna go around everything else. And yeah, this feels like a disaster already. It is so patchy. I don't think it's really working, but again, I'm gonna carry on. It's just coloring, and it better happen to me than you, right? We learn together. Okay, so all of the background is done. I'm gonna color on top of the illustrations now because the yellow does look so different, and I'm just gonna try to make it match as best as I can. This is the result. It's looking really, really bad. But you know, in this channel, we trust the process and we at least finish things because even if they don't turn out well from trusting the process, we learn something, so I'm just gonna finish it. I'm gonna draw the red line from the notepad on the side, and then I'm gonna draw the blue line with a blue pencil, which is actually looking too dark, so I'm gonna erase this and I'm gonna measure the distance for my lines on the side, and I'm coming back in with a baby blue fountain pen that seems to be working perfectly. So now that the paper is ruled, I don't think it looks as bad anymore. So I'm gonna add more details, and I think that's gonna make it look better. This is supposed to be a sketch on a legal pad, so I'm just gonna grab a black micro pen and I'm gonna scribble around my original illustration, which is actually so weird for me to do on an illustration that I made myself because it did started like a sketch, just like I'm doing right now. Still, it is fun. I'm just going around the outline, adding details and lines. It feels so much like going back in time to carelessly doodle in a boring class, nostalgic and fun. In that spirit, I'm going to add more details to the page, like my initials and my kids' initials, and I'm also writing trust the process because we definitely needed to do that today. What else can I add? More reflections that I was giving a moment ago. Finish it. You'll learn something. A little bit of decoration on my character, like a cutie mark on its bum, and more lines, and just stuff that I would probably doodle if I were on the phone with a friend. So I'm coming back now with a ball pen to do some hatching just to give it more texture. And I'm just gonna color a couple of these O's because this is something I often do. I'm gonna outline the paper so it looks sharper. So final steps. A bit of a drop shadow with the gray marker on one side, and that's it. That's our first page, and I actually do love the result. I know it was very blotchy and it was really hard for me to get an even background, but still I think it looks good. And I really like it. It was so much fun to do. So for the next one, we're going to do a little bit of chaos coloring because I have a lot of dried up markers and I find it to be so much fun. When one of my markers starts to dry up, I just cross it off the color swatch card so I know which ones I can still use for this technique. I'm going to use these randomly. I'm not staying within the lines. I'm not choosing a color palette. I'm just putting color down. This is a great technique to use to rescue a page that has been damaged by bleed through, for example. So now that everything is colored, I'm going to create a black outline around everything. And I'm going to try to tie everything together by drawing lines with a purple marker, applying them like shadows almost. I'm not really coloring. I'm just adding a little bit more finesse with the markers on top. And here, I'm actually just gonna write a little note here too, a message I would probably like to receive myself. Have fun, it's okay to make mistakes. Finally, I'm using an acrylic marker to add some highlights and bring the eyes out, and that's it. A quick chaos coloring page. I keep loving this technique, it's so much fun. Now we have the extra intro page to my characters, pretty simple with just a little part illustrated, so I thought this was going to be perfect to try the sticker on a notebook page effect. I'm going to start by outlining the illustrations with a pencil to create the white space around them so they do look like stickers. Again, I'm going to draw a rectangle around the page so it looks like a notebook. I'm also going to draw a line here to the side, and on top of that line, I'm doing the little circles from the binding of the notebook. And because the proportions are so different from a notebook to my square coloring book, I'm going to draw an uneven line at the bottom so it looks like a piece of it has been ripped off. I'm measuring the sides to create the ruled paper, and I'm starting by drawing the red line again. Then I'm going to do all the horizontal blue lines, avoiding the stickers, of course, so they look like they're on top. Okay, so that already looks like a notebook page. So I'm going to go over my pencil lines with a black pen, the stickers, the outline, and the ripped sides. Now I'm going to simply color my little illustrations. Since they are so small, I'm using a lot of gradients to make them more interesting. And again, I'm using gray to create a tiny drop shadow and support the illusion of them being on top of the paper. A thicker shadow for the paper to pop off the book, and some extra shadows and highlights. Because the page is so plain, I decided I'm going to use a pen and doodle on this one too. So I'm circling the word Weibo, which is the name of my characters, and then I'm giving this little seedling a conversation bubble. Little hearts, which are my go-to when I doodle, and yeah, that's it. I don't think I want to add anything else to this one, but I think it looks great. It actually looks like a piece of paper, so I'm happy. And this was fun and so simple to do. So let's move on, and I'll show you all of the middle finished pages at the end of the video in a flip through in case you want to stick for that. But for now, I'm going to go to the coloring test page before coloring the last page of the book. Actually, you know what? I thought of something I want to write on the notebook page, so let me go back and do that. Shameless plug, I'm writing "Don't forget to subscribe." I rarely ask you to, but something's happened. We are now at 64,000 subscribers, which is more than halfway to 100,000. Oh my God. For me, it's an absolute dream to reach that milestone and receive a YouTube play button. My crazy dream right now is to reach that by my birthday in November. And I know it sounds a little crazy to gain that many subscribers in a few months when getting to 60,000 has taken us 3 years, but my statistics showed me that half of the people who watch my channel are not subscribed. So if anyone can make this happen, it's you. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. If you like my videos, you can give me the best gift ever by simply subscribing and joining my channel. Okay, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Let's go back to that test page. For this one, I'm doing a third paper effect. blueprint. So again, I'm drawing a frame and measuring on the sides so that I can create a grid. I'm drawing the grid with a white gel pen. You can barely see it now, but it's there and it will show when we color this. So yeah, next we just color everything with blue. I think it was easier to color this page than the yellow one because of the grid. I'm just filling it square by square, and that helps not having any overlapping, if that makes sense. Maybe I should have done it with the stripes on the yellow one too, but I didn't, so I'm gonna do it here with the squares. So that's done. Next step is to cover every outline with white. I'm using the white gel pen to painstakingly go over the text. That's done, so now I'm going to color some of the areas with a slightly darker blue, and I'm coloring certain elements and adding shadows and a little bit of texture. Just playing around with it a little bit so it's not as flat. Now I'm going to cover the rest of the thicker lines with an acrylic marker. And doing this is making all of the eyes look so weird. I have zombie characters now. I'm also going to use this white marker to start adding measurements and notes to evoke the idea of a working blueprint. Fun fact, these are the actual measurements for the Weebos. They are tiny forest creatures and measure up to 1.5 inches, which is about 4.5 centimeters. Yeah, that's their size. Let's add a little bit more text, more information about them, some dotted lines. And as for now, I can't think of anything else to add, so I'm going to fix the eyes with a blue marker. And they still look a little bit insane, but it's okay. Now to outline the page, and it's done. I don't know what to say about this one. It was fun and easy to make, but I am not crazy about my personal result. I've seen much better versions of these techniques, so maybe it would be better on a page that has a lot of elements to measure. I don't know. But that takes us to the last page of this book, and again, I want to do a trend I've seen people do a lot. You draw a heart and color only inside of it, and the rest you leave it as grayscale. I want to try to do this with my own twist, and my idea for this is to have one side be blue representing one of the characters, the other side be pink, and where they both meet inside of the heart, I want it all to merge into purple. For this, I'm going to start by coloring the simplest elements that do not touch, so the bushes and the trees on either side. Now I'm going to move to the ground, and here's the first part where there would be some blending. I'm going to start with the purple and then blue and pink of similar value to either side, blending and blending. Coloring with pink markers is weird because they look so different when they're wet. You almost always feel like you grabbed the wrong shade, but you have to trust your brain and know they dry differently. So always swatch pink and or use your swatch card. Now for the sky. I want to give a yellow glow to the sun, and then around that I'm going to do another blend again, starting with lilac in the middle, moving to soft pink to one side, and then a baby blue to the other side, trying to blend them, making it look like clouds. I have to be honest, right now, this is looking like a gender reveal thing gone wrong, but I'm gonna press on. The largest part of the water lies within the purple heart, so I'm just going to color everything with purple and then do solid pink and solid blue to the sides. I will add texture to this later to make it look more like water. I decided to color the entire sun with yellow, and when it dries I'm just going to layer lilac on top. Now to color the characters. Of course I'm coloring them in pinks and blues, and I'm doing my best to try to match the shades and values of the purple inside of the heart. Everything has color now, so I'm adding shadows and texture in the parts that are fully dry. For the water, I'm drawing irregular lines at the top where it's further back, and I'm slowly turning those into ovals that make more space between them as I move down, so it looks like water. I have a more comprehensive tutorial on how to do water and other textures on this video. Maybe you'd like to check it out. You can also download the same page I colored for free on my website and color along. I will link both the video and the page in the description of this video. I'm drawing on the wings to add a little bit extra detail, and that's it for the coloring part. So to finish, all we need to do is add the magical dots around the heart. My advice for making dots look more magical is making sure you make them of different sizes, a big one here and there, and then smaller ones fanning out. That makes it look more like bubbling, if that makes sense. I'm also adding a bit of highlights, and that's it. I'm actually very proud of this one and how it turned out, and it might give me more ideas on how to approach this trend and move it away from only gray and color. Before a full flip through, let's review the pages we worked on today. So we have this one, we have the blueprint, the title page, the legal pad, yellow page, chaos coloring, which I still love. I would literally do an entire book with this technique, and the ripped notebook page with stickers. So now let's look through the entire book. Gotta tell you, I love that I tried so many trends and techniques on this one. It was so much fun. I went through the book so quickly because I never stopped having fun with it. These trends and techniques are amazing to face those pages you don't know how to color or that you don't really want to color. Most of these pages I have done in past coloring videos or shorts, so you will be able to find them and how I did them. So we have monochromatic, coloring within a spill, and here I spilled actual coffee on the page. Then here I tried to cover all of the outlines and create texture. This one is from a video where I did a color palette challenge, and I was trying to create a glow effect on this one, but it did not work. The next ones I just color at home watching TV. They're not recorded, so mostly flat coloring with no worries. This is my least favorite page of the entire book. It was also from the color palette challenge video. I think I completely ruined it. I do not like how I applied the color palette to the page, but I'm learning more on how to use palettes, and once I know enough, I'll be sure to share. I'm really proud of this one. I love the effect coming from the middle of the strawberry. And here, this is a color palette done right. I love this one too. Another one with the glow effect. These next ones I have filmed too, and I will share soon as short videos. They're not posted yet. This one is in another viral coloring video, and this comic page had its own video because I was so intimidated by the technique. Split page here, then trying glitter for the strawberry, a lighting effect for this one, and I think this is my best lighting effect yet. I love this page. Great color palette with bokeh, another rainbow swirl page, and this one was inspired by the famous painting The Scream. The next one was inspired by the movie Wuthering Heights. And this is a quilted or patchwork page. I'm not sure which term is appropriate. Then this page that I really love, inspired by Rainbow Bright, so nostalgic, and we're back to what we colored today. And that's our flip. I hope you enjoyed it and all of the techniques I shared today. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you're having the most wonderful day and that I'll see you soon. Bye!